Hi, welcome to StudyBits education videos. In this video, we'll cover how to create your first content for your new course. So in the previous video, we covered creating a first course. So if you haven't seen that, go back and then watch that initial video. And then in this video, we'll cover creating content and questions for your students. So we'll go ahead and click the biology course that we have created previously. From the tabs, we want to select the course tab that contains all the units and lessons of the course. So we'll click here on our first course. Here we'll see all the lessons. So we'll create content for our first lesson here. And then once we click on our first lesson here, we'll have three tabs. So the first tabs will have assignment, so we can pick an assignment date. So when this assignment will be due. We have a lesson plan, so we can generate a lesson plan, and we have lesson materials. So currently there's no lesson materials, so we can either generate them from scratch, so we can add questions one by one, we can add a video, whatever questions that you would like to add. But here we'll use AI to create this. So before we click that, let me just quickly explain how this content will be created. So when creating questions, what's included is the overall course objective and the materials that have been provided when creating the course, as well as the unit and the class information. So here we can edit this information, so hopefully this aligns with kind of what we want to teach. But let's say there's some deviations or something that we want to change, we can always go back and edit this. So we can go back here and we can change the name of the unit. We can also change the description. So again, this description goes to the LLM that will create all the lesson material. And then here there's a more detailed lesson description. So this is specifically what will be covered in this lesson. So again, we can hit edit button and we can edit all the information that we would like to change. So for purposes of this video, we'll just kind of leave it as is, and then we'll go ahead and click generate lesson. So this process might take a few minutes. It's kind of, again, analyzing what needs to be created, planning it out, and creating the actual materials. And so while this is kind of loading, we can kind of switch back to the lesson plan. So again, lesson plan is the same process. All this information is supplied to the generator that generates the lesson plan. But for lesson plan, we can kind of specify some exact requirements here. So we can add some details about teaching methods or kind of what we want to exactly be covered and how we want the lesson to be structured. So we can add that in here. For now, we'll just skip it and click generate lesson plan. Okay, so again, this might take a couple of minutes here. It's generated. We can kind of view it here. We can also download a PDF. PDF can be more easily printed. It's kind of formatted. It's formatted in an easier to read and kind of portable way. So let's go back here. So I think our lesson materials should be ready. Okay, so I think they are still generating, but they're mostly here. So let me explain how the lessons are typically divided. So the way the lessons are structured, they're divided into a few groups. So typically there's between 3 to 4 groups per lesson. And the reason for that is to kind of save progress and then kind of break it up into more manageable chunks for students. Here we see that our initial group 0 will start with video, will be followed by a number of questions. Our group number 1 will start with an article. Again, we'll have follow-up questions from the article. It will sum up with some flashcards. Group number 2 will start with a podcast that students will listen to. Then we'll have a number of questions to evaluate their knowledge and what they've listened to. And it will end with a text summation of what has been covered. So we can do a number of things. We can here edit each question. We can replace the video. Here it shows us the video. We can replace it. We can leave it as is. We can modify and view each multiple choice question. Same thing for matching. So here we are listed the problem choice that we here. This tile here, it shows us exactly what type of problem it is. So we can see these are multiple choice problems. We have a matching, fill in the blanks. So again, each problem can be modified as we wish. We can also move questions. We can change the order of questions. So for example, if we want to move up multiple choice questions and then follow that with a so here we can rearrange the order of questions as needed as well. So let's go back to the student's view and launch a lesson to see how this looks like on the student side. So we're gonna go ahead and click start lesson. And this is what students will see. So they will see exactly the questions that are displayed in the lesson management. So the video was first on our lesson management, so they'll see that. So let's skip that for now. Then they'll see the multiple choice questions that were followed by that. This concludes the video for creating the content for a course.